And this is the last session for this cohort of Ultimate Healing. So Peter, any parting words from you to the group, please?
Yes. So basically, I would like to point out, as you see in this process, sometimes it takes time, and sometimes the time we've had here isn't enough to complete a process. That's why the point holding, it needs to happen later because it's longer. The points focus it more, bring things out, and we have long sessions, 2, 3, 4 hours, so you can go fully into your process and clear it out fully. So you can see how it expands from where we are now. We've gone through a little process, and you realize sometimes it takes a little time. Point holding will really get you into that process completely right to the end, because you're taking time for it. You're holding points, getting candle away so it burns till it's complete. Everything comes out. So this will give you a little taste of what the next course is about when we start point holding. We're going deeper, longer, have long sessions. So we won't be guiding you one at a time as we are now. It's like you'll be going at once. You'll be working your process at the same time. I'm here to kind of help you all at the same time, but each of you will have your own process to go through, which can take as long as it takes. So we give up to 4 hours. That should be enough. And by then, it's stuff you need to carry on. You can carry on your own anyway, because you'll be fully aware of the process, more able to handle it. But yeah, longer sessions with points to activate it and high levels of Jandali is really going to get things moving. Okay.
Yeah, we've just got one question. From Stefan. And Stefan was actually saying that his discretion processes are taking a number of hours. And I responded that, yes, sometimes they do. It depends on how many layers are present.
That's all we do is point holding. You know, there's some things you create quickly, others take time. That's why this point holding is really going to help focus it. Sometimes you need that support. You know, there's somebody holding points and putting energy in, so it actually takes you through that process better.
And he's also asking if you could pick only 3 exercises from Ultimate Healing Part 1, besides the Chandali, which would be the best ones for them to continue?
The discreation. This is a lifelong process. As I said, everything you don't like, if you expand into emotions, you can discreate it. That's the most important thing to get used to. Once you're aware of that, you know, you can change anything in your life. You no longer panic. You know, whatever comes up, you can go through and discreate. So keep doing that one. Use it in every situation in your life that you want to change.
Brilliant. Is there anything else that you want to say about part 2, Peter? Because we've got some questions coming in. So I think if you talk about part 2 first, and then we can go to those.
Well, first of all, we go much further to Chandali. You've had 2 levels in this course. Well, there's 7 more. You know, we go to, there are 4 basic levels of Chandali, which can lead to its kind of hotter state. Then there are actually more secret levels heading in as well. The White Mahakala, which actually deals with your finances. You clear up blocks to money. There's a Laughing Buddha, which actually brings more of the joy and enthusiasm. There's Zug, which is dragon, based at fire. Vajrayogini, which makes it really hot. It gets kind of to its full where it really burns things out. You also do Mavati, which is darker energy. It's void. It just makes things vanish. It makes the discretion process more simple because you can see things vanish to the void. It becomes easy when you're in the place of pure awareness. There are attunements as well. We can deal with the tachyon, light levels. There are things like the etheric crystals, which you can attach to different points that you can't hold. If you run out of hands, it's okay. You can actually put etheric crystals on points that keep them stimulated with the Chandali going through those. And we have the Sri Yantra energy again to bring divine blueprint back. We've got magical transmutation crystal orb. You can put that anywhere to transmute negative energy into positive very easily. So you've got loads of tools to actually boost this work further. So the Kundalini is going to get much hotter, so you burn things much faster and can clear everything. So the process gets faster and more powerful. And of course, by holding points, it directs it even more. We'd be working with the process of appreciation to see how powerful that is when you actually apply it. So you know, it'll make it really elegant in changing everything. And of course, then we have the point holding. You learn to hold your own points and learn to hold other people's points, so you can heal yourself and others.
I'm smiling at your choice of word elegant. Some of the point holding sessions are not elegant.
Yeah, but
when the emotions are coming up.
The process of change is more elegant. In fact, because you go through emotions more easily, faster.
Yeah.
I mean, going through these emotions faster, everything piling up is elegant because you're actually getting out faster.
Yeah, absolutely.
The more you feel, the more it's clearing. If you get really emotional for a few hours and it's out, great, it's gone. Yeah. It's better than hanging up holding it for days or weeks, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what makes it more elegant.
Yeah, exactly. With regards to actually holding the points, yes, a little bit of pressure is required right at the beginning until the Chandali or the Kundalini starts to flow and it heats
Basically,
up,
you
and
press
then
it
it
where
can
it
be a light
hurts.
touch.
See,
Yeah, no.
painful points show you resistances. So basically, you're going to press where it hurts to elicit that pain.
Yeah, that wasn't the question. The question was about some concern around being able to hold the point for a number of hours and the amount of pressure that is required.
Yeah, it doesn't take a great deal of pressure. Obviously, it's a pressure you can maintain, otherwise you wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah.
At first, you hold it where it's painful, and then it will change. It doesn't require pressure after a while because it's turned to heat. You only have to keep your finger on the point there where it's burning once the energy connection is made.
And sometimes you don't feel it at all, Liz, because you go completely numb. So you don't know if you're holding it or not.
Well, actually, you do because you feel numb. Really, you can't feel anything in your finger. You know it's numb. It feels like dead. You know. Normally, you can feel if you're touching something, but you can't feel it at all. It's numb.
I feel when I process things, I seem to get muscle cramps. Is this a diet and magnesium issue? I don't absorb magnesium well.
It's possible, but actually it could be part of the process anyway, because when you're holding points, remember you're releasing energies. Or any blocks before they get rise into the emotions might pass to the body first. When the body's resisting, it cramps up. Those are blocks. And usually as those cramps go, the emotions surface. Well, it might not be emotional, it might be just unconscious coming out. You might go numb for a while, it gets cramped, and then that numbness goes and the cramp goes with it.
Still talking about part 2. Any comments on mineral saturation beforehand?
Yes, the more minerals in the body, the better. That's why I recommend certain supplements. Obviously, if you've got raw organic food and juices, you've got plenty of minerals, but it's good to be absolutely sure. So I recommend always organic minerals. I think there's some I've actually written on the list, so you can go up to get with the course. Ones that I get by Body by Nature because it's totally organic. They're actually grown on plants. You know, I think it's based on some kind of broccoli sprout or something. If the minerals fed to a plant, then it's actually organic. And other ones I've got with the colloidal minerals from Enzymes International in America. So it depends where you are. But there are various good minerals we recommend which actually really saturate the body with the kind of minerals it needs, the organic ones. Definitely colloidal forms, you absorb them quicker.
Is there an early bird discount for this course?
No, simply because some people are already buying it, so it's a bit late to put in a bird discount out, really.
And could you take West Coast?
The fact is that we haven't put the price up since last year is a kind of gift in itself. You know, we decided to keep it as it is. So, you know, for that price, it's like it's less than the price of the Chandali levels alone, if you look at it.
Yeah. And I did put a note in the chat to tell everyone or to remind everybody and to alert them that an email has gone out to all of you. And I've given you the link to the web page as well. And it lists all of the 17 attunements that you will be receiving in part 2, as well as information from all of the Chandali empowerments as well. So you can see there exactly what you're getting, as well as all of the online sessions. So it's a considerable sum of content for the price that you are getting there. And with regards to the times of the sessions, could you please take West Coast time into consideration and not make the sessions any earlier?
Of course, that's what we're planning. That's why we're doing it this time. Hopefully this time of day should be all right. West Coast a bit further out, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very difficult to actually get here and England and, you know, West and East Coast at the same time, but we do our best.
Yeah, we're going to look at what geographical spread we've got, and then we'll make sure that we are as fair as we possibly can, because we're in Thailand and we're UTC, so I don't know how many hours ahead.
It's 12 hours from the East Coast.
Oh, right, okay, there you go. Are these points acupuncture points, please?
Some are, but some aren't. It's a whole different system. We use reflexology points, some acupuncture points, some completely different. See, the way this is based on the Kahuna system. The points are a little bit different, although some of them overlap. Any point that hurts shows there's resistance. So the Kahuna principle was quite simple. Find where it hurts and press. Of course, we made it a bit more complex in by looking at what each point does, so you know what you're dealing with. You know what organ, what gland it's related to, what emotion it's related to, and so on. But it's a mixture of points all over the body.
And in the manuals, you get full, detailed body images with all of the points identified and located for you, so you know exactly if your part of the body is hurting, you know what point you are pressing. Exactly. What if we are on pharma drugs and can't come off them? How much of a hindrance is this?
We'll look at that. I mean, you can talk to me about that according to what drugs you want and for what, because the best thing is to actually start replacing with natural remedies. This is what we always do in natural medicine anyway. If you're a herbalist or homeopath, we gradually reduce people's drugs and replace them with natural remedies until they can come off them completely. This should be something you should be willing to do, because if you want to get better, you don't want to stay on drugs. Otherwise you don't give your body a chance to learn how to deal without them. Let's look at the cause of what's behind why you need the drugs and actually deal with that. And so we look at that carefully along the way. We try and reduce your drugs as you heal. No point in trying healing, not drugs, because your body has to adjust.
Sarah, if I could ask you to email Peter directly with that, and then you two can have a conversation with regards to that. Yeah. Are there other supplements that we should be taking, such as calcium?
All the minerals in balance. If you get multi-mineral, you've got the calcium as well, so it's the whole lot really. The body does need calcium when it's repairing bone. Often needs a lot of zinc as well because hormones being used. So there's various minerals it needs. You really want the whole range. You need calcium, magnesium, zinc in particular. Some trace minerals such as boron, chromium, potassium. So really get the multi-mineral. Natural ones grown on plants actually usually would balance of all minerals anyway.
With regards to your prerequisites, obviously you need to have completed Ultimate Healing Part 1. However, you need to have done Chandali Level 2 at the minimum before starting Part 2. And then you need to have completed everything by the time we get to the first point holding session, which is going to be on the 10th of September. So you need to have completed Part 1 in its entirety by the 10th of September, because we've got a couple of theory webinars before we actually get into holding the points themselves. So that answers that one for you, Stefan. But I know you've got a couple more questions. Can I purchase now? Absolutely you can, because we want you to start working on the Chandali. Absolutely.
Exactly.
And can the STO point be held? Can the STO point be self-held?
Oh, yes. It's a case of getting a position. It's easier lying down, because if you lie back with your hands up here, you can kind of lean on them. A lot of people do that one. It's a case of getting in the right position. I'll show you the best way of doing it.
Sarah, if you could put your question in the MeWe group, and then those friends of yours in the UK can respond. So she's asking for recommended multi-mineral and enzyme supplements. That would be fabulous, because then
I'll put them on
there, other people can see. Calcium supplementation can cause problems, sclerosis. I don't know.
That's why we use an organic one here. It won't. So when you have organic minerals, the body actually uses them differently. The one kinds of calcium cause problems, yes. If it's like a chelate, a natural chelate in plant matter, the body uses it differently. It also has to be in balance. So calcium, magnesium and zinc have to be kept in a certain balance, otherwise there's more of one than another, it gets out of balance. So that's why we did the whole range. You've got calcium, make sure you've got magnesium and zinc as well.
And there was a question that came in right at the beginning about the spread of the webinar. So I've just reiterated the dates of the webinars in the chat here. But again, if you follow the link of the webpage, then you'll get to read all of the information and watch Peter's wonderful little video about what's in part 2. Lots of time to finish Ultimate Healing Part 1. Yeah, that's what I've just posted, all of the dates. And as I said, once we know who has signed up, then we will be able to confirm the time of the point holdings, because as we say, they do last up to 4 hours long. So we need to be mindful of everybody's time zones. Did you deal with this? Did you deal with this question of mine early on, a question for Peter? You mentioned previously. No, I did not ask this question, Mel, so I will ask it in just a second. Apologies for missing that. Is there a price for when you did the not online point holding course before? Is there a price for when you did the in-person point holding course before?
In-person one. There'll be a discount for that. So I think we put it on the site somewhere. If you've done anything before, you get a greatly discounted price.
Yeah, £300. So again, all information is on the web page, and we will be starting very soon. We're going to be starting in July with the first webinar of appreciation, but the webinar is not the beginning. The beginning is your review of the manual. And as we said in the email, there's multiple parts to this course. There is your personal review of the manual, all of the Chandali empowerments, etc., all of the attunements that you will contact Peter to receive personally as well.
I send them in orbs. So as soon as you buy the course, I send them all in orbs, so you can take them with your own time.
Yeah, so you need to receive all of those. So there's lots to be getting on with between now and the start of the webinar series itself. And then you go through the appreciation process, finding how to, which is a fun session, finding the points, and then we go into the actual point holding itself. And in terms of holding somebody else's points, that person can be anyone. It can be your neighbor. It could even be your dog, if you wanted it to be. All you're doing is practicing finding the points on a third party and then supporting their appreciation process and their point holding and emotional release process. That person does not have to be involved in body electronics whatsoever. So don't have any fears around that. And the manuals contain a lot of information, full information on all of the empowerments, all of your diagrams to show you where the points are, and all of the other information that you may need. Should the partner take minerals for a couple of weeks before the session? Yes.
Yeah, they should as well. Anybody who's doing this work should have enough minerals in the body.
Yeah. So your questions are all very important because it's going to help everybody decide whether they want to join the course or not. You can buy now. You can buy next week. It's entirely up to you. The earlier you start, the better. Please put your questions regarding part 2 in the MeWe group so that everybody can see them and everyone can see the replies as well. Because if you're asking the question, somebody else might be thinking it too, and it could be a decision breaker for her. Wonderful. Thank you very much. So that is all of the questions that have been submitted. So Peter, do you want to say please a line or two about the online point holding that we will begin in June?
Well, you can begin any time you want. We'll start the actual seminars in June, obviously, but obviously if you want to get some work in before then to get some practice at it, you can start anytime you like. Remember, it is something you do in your own time, and sometimes it's good to have some time to go through it before you actually get to the webinars, so you can actually start digesting it more. But it's not in this course, and you go to level 2. They've got all the Chandali up to Vajrayogini and Dumawati. You've got another 7 layers to go there, plus many other attunements. That's just it's got crystal production. It's got the dragonflies, various things in it, and how to produce them. Another attunement was the kind of magical transmutation crystal orb, which transmutes everything you put it on. So there's many new attunements in this one to help the healing process. So there's quite a lot in there. So you can start work those in your own time. So even if you don't do anything else and you start taking the attunements, you've got a lot to go through. So you can start this one anytime you feel like it and do it in your own time. We'll start the actual next line of webinars in June. But if you want to start beforehand, that's, don't let me stop you.
Sorry, on mute. When you enroll in part 2, as Peter says, you'll get the manuals straight away, so you can start having a look at the content of the manuals. And we will begin the webinar series.
You get all the orbs as well to take in your own time, so you can start straight away taking them.
Yeah. And then when we begin the online sessions, Peter will be teaching you how to locate the points for yourself so you can find them on your own body, and how to locate the correct points on somebody else's body so that you know that you are getting to the right place. And then Peter will guide you through actual point holding sessions online. These can last anywhere up to 4 hours, where you will be going through the whole entire process and melting down your own crystals or somebody else's crystals, as Peter will be channeling all of the Chandalis and everything else that is needed in those sessions. With regards to the attunements, there are 17 attunements that you gain with part 2. The virus inhibitor field, the 8 levels of tachyon, universal sovereignty, magical transmutation crystal orb, titanium flame, etheric crystal creation, divine blueprint. Oh, it goes on and on and on. And I think that the attunements and the empowerments alone is what makes this one definitely worthwhile. And that's without the actual point holding itself. So all of that to look forward to. Anything else you want to say about that, Peter?
Well, the point holding is important as well. This is where you practice it all. We put all the attunements together and actually results. Obviously, it's one thing to take all the empowerments, but actually practicing the healing, it's actually much simpler than you think. Once you've got the attunements and you practice these basic principles, enthusiasm, unconditional love, appreciation, the power flows and everything transforms. So even if you don't remember the attunements afterwards, it's okay. They'll be active in you. You practice simple practice and you transform everything much faster. That's how it works. It gets easy.
I say. Yeah, I certainly don't remember all the achievements. It amazes me every time I read through the list or I read through the manual. I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, I've got that, haven't I? I forget all the time because it's such a long list and there's such an incredible selection of empowerments and achievements that really are truly wonderful. Okay, so that concludes the session then, everyone. How exciting. That's Ultimate Healing Part 1 with the webinar series complete.
Well, if you don't have a complete, to carry on, and remember, you can ask me questions. You can put them in me way. It carries on, as until you're done.